Hello and welcome to a quick impromptu little video on the Mystical Archive on MTG Arena. When this article popped up, I sort of skimmed over it here, and I had some concerns with how I read this and what it might mean. Now, if I'm doing my job correctly, I will have a link to the article in question in the description below. So if you want to read along with me, or even on your own time, you can. But the reason why I want to make a little video on the Mystical Archive in particular is this little we'll call it chunk of the article. Again, pardon my impromptu nature, I only roughly outlined this in my head. We'll just attempt to read along with this article real fast, and I'll try and bring up points or my criticism or concerns about it along the way. And hey, if somebody from Magic or from Wizards would love to assuage my fears, unless I missed it, that would be lovely, and maybe this will get some traction, so they might otherwise be inclined to inform us. Anywho, Mystical Archives will be legal and historic, but not standard. As a primarily historic channel, this is good, though 7 will not be joining the format due to power level concerns. This includes Swords to Plowshares and Demonic Tutor. And it does say, while they've let people know that are previewing the cards, they're not going to be, whether or not their card in question will be legal. They are right, it's easy to miss these little notes and all the excitement, of which I am no different. There's a possibility that maybe buried in some tweet or some other article, or buried somewhere within, the library that is the internet here, that I may have missed the information that I need here. But my point was that I was concerned about the rate at which we will pull these cards, much like Demonic Tutor and Swords to Plowshares. And I might, again, this is another part of that, I may have what's the word? How do I word this? Miss something. I think even things like Lightning Bolt are in these Mystical Archives. So I am a little concerned about if a card is not legal in historic, can we still pull them in packs? Now, I am not a draft or sealed player, so I know that, though I have done a bit of draft and sealed and stuff, so I understand that for the most part, draft and sealed decks are much like an in-person at your local game store draft. Sometimes you can actually, in real life, you can sometimes draft and keep the cards you get, and I think most of them are, but again, I'm not a draft player, and I'm pretty certain that draft in Arena works the same way, that you, I believe, are able to keep whatever you draft. So my concern might not matter if you are a draft player, but I am a constructed best of 3 player, as I hope you will know by this point if you've watched my videos. Now, this is sort of where my concern comes in. See, the 8-card Strixhaven School of Mages packs purchased from the store or earned through play will have a Mystical Archive card instead of one of the usual common cards. And this card can be an uncommon, rare, or mythic rare card. It means it's possible to include 2 rares or 2 mythics, but always you'll have one traditional Strixhaven rare or mythic, and then you'll have this other Mystic Archive wild card, although that's a bad term given Arena's wild card, redeemable wild cards. But and it says that You know, additionally, your collector booster packs you can find at local game stores, which I will be going to, and you should too, safely. Can either have the regular alt art mystical archives, or the gorgeous Japanese versions, like the opt that I used in the thumbnail of this video. But the next part, it goes into other or the next part of the articles go into other I guess points of interest, which is good for these apparently weekly articles or whatever, or updates, which these are supposed to be. But this is the crux of my argument. We'll go back up to the Swords to Plowshares and the Japanese demonic tutor. Again, both of these are gorgeous, but my inner weeb loves this shit a lot. But for the example of Swords to Plowshares, if it is not legal in Historic, we'll say that when I open my first pack, will I be able to get a dud in a Swords to Plowshares if I'm like I only play Historic best of 3. I don't really, I would say Standard, but they're not applicable in Standard. I don't play like Brawl. So can I open a Swords first and sort of like brick on the cool Mystical Archive? Because the way I would love for it to be is, I think something akin to how they might do duplicates. Assuming that the Swords to Plowshares, which I believe it's a rare in the new art, but I believe traditional Swords to Plowshares is an uncommon, I believe, but I might be wrong. The way I would like to be able to open these cards, or at least the standard, or the Mystical Archives, is that I would like the, what are the cards here? I think there's like 70 or so cards. I would like to be able to open up all of the legal ones first, whatever they happen to be, and then the, I believe, 6 or 7, what was it again? Yes. Though I would like to have the ability to open all of the, and get all the Mystic Archive cards that are legal first, and then the last 7 will be the things that are banned for format reasons. I believe this is the most fair way that you can do on Arena, because it's an issue of coding. It's not like if I go to my local game store and buy a pack, I understand that's real RNG, Nuffle God of the Dice shit, all of that. I get it. But this is my hope that if somebody at Wizards happens to see this, if, again, they haven't already answered my concerns in a way that makes me feel like I'm not gonna, like, get robbed, air quote, of this. If you can, before this comes out, if we could have, like, the duplicate protection thing, where, again, we can get the other 30-odd cards or whatever it is, if we can get those first before we can ever get any of the 7 that will be banned. This, I believe, is the most tasteful way to do this, where you won't, I believe, or you will garner the least amount of bad will with your consumers, people like me, and the general player base at large, with Historic in particular. So that is my little rant, concern, complaint video. Though this is a, again, rant, etc., that might not be a rant. It could be a totally unfounded fear, and I hope it is, Wizards. I'd love a little information on this. And in case I happen to miss this when I post this video, and somebody can furnish a link that says, hey, Wizards, address your concern, and here it is in this link or whatever, then hey, that's what the comments were for, wherever I happen to post this. So I guess that'll be all for today's video. Yeah, Cat, you scratch up that thing, you goob. But that'll be all for today's video. The next video will be, as a little spoiler review, a Jeskai equipment tribal deck that will be coming out either the same day as this posting or the day after. Thank you all. Stay safe. I'm pulling for you, and we're all in this together.